Hello, everybody. It's Jessica from the Ladies Heroes here. Today we're going to be talking about hometowns, and I need to be really, really careful with this one because uh, I'm trying to make sure it's not going to turn into a rant, but I didn't want to script this, so this is all just going to come out, and I'm really bad for tangents and going into things that aren't necessary and ranting about things I hate. So we're gonna I try really hard, keep neutral, keep focused, and stay on the point. To go on a tangent already, this is like the best lighting I could get in this room. I look like a zombie. I swear I normally look better than this, but yeah, apologies for the face in general. So I grew up in a seaside resort, I guess you could call it, on the very, very west coast of Scotland. So um, it was a tourist town mostly because it was invaded by Vikings like 1,000 years ago, and we killed them off. It's pretty cool, I suppose. And it is a gorgeous place to go. It's right on the beach. Like we've got this right next to the Clyde. We've got all this sand because it's on the west coast. You know, you can see the sunset there. Like, and there's loads of like tiny Scottish islands around. So you ended up just getting this like big pink sky with the big orange sunlight just going behind these islands, and then part of you just thinks, oh fuck, I'm Scottish and that's brilliant kind of thing. Look how amazing this place is. And kind of at the back of it, like it was a relatively large town, I would say. Like you knew a lot of people there, but at the same time you didn't know quite a lot of people either. But at the very back of it, there were just all these rolling hills, and they were absolutely gorgeous. And see, going to the top of them, and then you can just see like for miles, just all the west coast. Like you can see like mountains in the distance covered in snow, even in the middle of fucking summer. It was yeah, pretty spectacular. One of those, at night time you see all these stars. They said absolutely stunning to look at. Don't live there. You can go and visit there. You can go and visit our Viking tourist shit because it's pretty shit. If you want to go there, that's cool. You can visit all our ice cream shops. We have plenty. Our sweet shops. Go to a tea shop. Do tourist things. I don't know. Growing up in a tourist town makes me hate it. But don't live there. Seriously. Oh gosh. My town is, I guess you could say, the anti-Tumblr because it is essentially um, just all white middle class cis. I've actually never known how to pronounce that. That straight people that know that they're this gender that they are, able-bodied. Basically, we were wasps, like just the white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, and people in my town didn't like it, particularly when somebody kind of didn't really go along with that. I suppose it's the nice way of saying it. They're all racist fuckers, really. If you weren't white and you weren't British, then you only lived there because you owned a restaurant or a takeaway. Like we have Italians because they came here to sell like most of the ice cream and then opened an Italian restaurant. As far as I'm aware, there were two Chinese families and they had rivaling Chinese takeaway shops. And then, oh my gosh, I remember when this Indian family moved over and they made this Indian restaurant and it was really, really, really tasty. But oh, it didn't really happen in Paris. It took a long time for that to happen. Oh, yeah, you were just like I said, kind of like Protestant mostly. There were some Catholics, and they're kind of frowned upon. I'm not gonna lie. There was, like one tiny, tiny Catholic school, and I'm not even joking when it's tiny. It's probably the size of my flat. I didn't know there were no Muslims, there were no Hindus, there wasn't anyone that wasn't a wasp really. Basic amount that we were told about in school was that Islam is a religion and that Muslim people are the people that follow Islam, and that Hindus, their sacred animal is a cow. And that was pretty much the extent of your multicultural education in my charming little hometown. Oh my god, it was awful. I don't actually know how I ended up being the way that I am now because I'd like to think that I'm a reasonably, oh, jinx, I can't even come up with the words anymore because I was talking about this place like just brings me out a lot of stress. I'd like to think that I'm very liberal and kind of open-minded, and one thing I've really enjoyed about Tumblr and meeting a lot of the people on it is just kind of seeing different views from things that I had never been taught before. Gosh, it was it was something else. There was a lot of rich people there. It was back in the kind of like sort of like the 50s and the 60s. It was really popular for like the rich English people to own a house there, just for like a kind of summer house, because like seeing the sunshine, oh my gosh, most beautiful place ever, like you're never going to want to leave. And it's really, really warm because a lot of heat would be travelling up the Clyde. It's a river if you don't know. So like it is kind of, I suppose that's one of the reasons why when I speak people don't think I am particularly Scottish, because we were taught to enunciate and not to use slang as such. And I mean, we were called snobs by, pretty much every other town around us. Jesus, we were, and we are, and I am. And trying to calm it down now, but still very much a Largs girl in some manners, and that mostly when it comes to speech and just general manners and etiquette. Oh gosh, I'm really not making it sound good at all, because I mean it really wasn't. School was actually quite good. I was a weird one because there were a lot of people that thought I was weird because I was like one of the only kind of goths there. Because see, when I turned 12, like I was just kind of like, I just started wearing all black. I was listening to metal music, which nobody had heard of, like people my age anyway. But at the same time, people seem to like me for some reason, which mystifies me to this day, because I mean, I was like, I'm a horrible child. I didn't like a lot of people. I kind of resented having to speak to a lot of people, and yet they liked me, and I still don't understand why, because people would be talking to me, and I would just be kind of listening with my face, but inside my head I'm going, I hate you so much. Like, your existence just destroys me, and now I have to destroy you before you destroy me any further. I'm genuinely glad that I only heard of American Psycho, the book and the movie, after I left Largs. Oh, I don't even know if I was supposed to say it. I'm from fucking Largs, it's awful. Yeah, I'm glad I only found out about that afterwards, because I probably would have really kind of understood what Patrick Bateman was talking about, and that's not a good thing at all. There was actually ended up being quite a nice little goth community there, and that's sort of how I ended up planning my escape in school. Like, as weird people, I guess you could say, like all kind of congregated together, and we all kind of realised, hey, this place is shit. Why don't we move on to bigger and better things? And that's when we used to start going to Glasgow. Every week, every Saturday, we get the train at like 11 or 12 o'clock, go in. And Glasgow is the biggest city in Scotland, and it is completely multicultural. There's people from all walks of life there, and it's wonderful to be kind of integrated into it. And suddenly you're not this big giant majority where you just kind of frown upon everyone that isn't like you. It's like there was just so much range of like race and religion and culture and beliefs and even food and things like that. It was awesome. And then and I would just kind of meet other people. Like, I met so many other kind of goths, I guess you could say, when I started going up to Glasgow. I actually used to have to sneak up because my dad didn't want me to go to Glasgow because it's a dangerous city and it's not safe. And even though I was like 13, he was talking about me getting raped and stuff. And it was like, cheers, Dad, that's going to fuck me up for the rest of my life. And there's one thing about Largs actually that was good, is that it was a very, very safe place. Like, even when I kind of knew about, the dangers lurking in the darkness, like when I would walk home at night time, I never felt afraid. Whereas in Glasgow, you're quite likely to get stabbed, mugged, raped, etc., killed, shot, kind of just whatever. It depends what street you're on and what time of night. But yeah, see, our weekly escapes to Glasgow, that was the best thing. Largs is just such a small-minded, small community. It's awful. if you like to belong and you like to follow the crowd, then yeah, I guess it's pretty cool if that's what you're into, but it's never going to be stimulating conversation because it's the same people seeing the same people and doing the same things and talking about the same things, and not kind of maybe realizing that, hey, there's a whole world out there. Oh, that's too much for them. No, they like their little town. So, no, too much with that kind of thing. Oh gosh. So yeah, eventually I met so many people in Glasgow. I made hundreds of friends. I'm not even joking when I say hundreds. Like I've met new people every week. Still talk to quite a few of them actually, even though that was 8 years ago. Sorry, my hair's really bugging me. I don't have a bobble on my handy, and I don't have the technology to edit this video. This is all just one shot. And then I started seeing this guy who was quite a bit older than me when I was just turned 16. And it was my reason to go to Glasgow every single weekend and stay there every single weekend. Like, luckily his flatmates thought I was the best person ever because, I would come home from school on Friday, like, run into, like, the bathroom to, like, shave my legs and get all pretty because, when you're 16, like, a lot of girls, they just kind of feel obliged to, be, perfect and hairless and really soft and really nice makeup and all that fucking shit. So, so I'd like run home from school on Friday, like run to the train. I would save up my lunch money like all week because I got £2 a day to go to get lunch at school. I would save that all up. So I was like, oh, I had a whole tenner, wow! And then I would go get the train up on the Friday and then go and stay with him until the Sunday. And oh my god, see that train home on Sunday, that was just like going back to hell. So I would just have my earphones in or just read a book and then just pretend that it wasn't happening. And then I would just go through a week of school where I hated everybody and nobody knew it. And school was actually really fun. I really liked learning, but I was a bit too smart for it. And I was really arrogant about it because I knew that I was clever. So I would do like the homework and everything, like an hour before it was due, or I would go in and I wouldn't have learned anything, not learned anything. I wouldn't have read any books or done any of the work we were supposed to do, and I was still getting kind of straight A's. So that's actually kind of messed me up now with uni because I'm just kind of like, hey, it's fine, we can leave it to the day before, and you really can't because it's really fucking hard because there's like secondary school education, and then there's university, how much work you've got to do and how difficult it is up here. Look at that comparison. So yeah, I moved out when I was 17, and really when I found out I was moving out, it was the best day of my life because there was a countdown. There was it's fucking 60 days until we are out of this shithole and we don't ever have to come back. I ended up getting into debt because I was all like, you know what, I can't pay my rent and I'm going to get into debt because I am not going back there. Oh, whew. I feel like I'm really kind of letting parts of my personality out that maybe I probably didn't want to, unintentionally, showing you my life story like this and how messed up my little brain is. But yeah, nice enough to visit, but just visit it once and then that's it done, and then don't go back there. So last year, I think I went back twice. One was for my eldest stepsister's wedding, and that was in one of the hotels that was in Largs. And I think I visited a friend once. Yeah, I think I genuinely do think I went to Largs twice last year. And so far, I've not been once this year, and I'm going to see how long I can keep that going for. I do have my dad that still lives in Largs, but he's with my evil stepmother, and that's just a whole other kettle of fish. And basically, we don't go there. I've had some friends that have moved up to Glasgow, people that were kind of sort of same mindset as me, and then they ended up having to move back to Largs because they just didn't have any money. And whereas I was all like, oh, it's okay, I'll just get my overdraft increased, because I am really bad with money and I don't actually have any money concerns, which is not healthy, and I do not suggest that anybody follow my kind of pathway because it's very bad. It's going to catch up with me one day, but it's not yet. And when they had to move back to Largs, they were just completely depressed, and everything was just about, when can I get enough money to get back to Glasgow, or when can I go and visit a friend, or when is a friend going to come and visit me? Yeah, that was my hometown. It's shit. Glasgow is awesome. Come and visit Glasgow. Like, we will like accept you with wide open arms. Like, we are the friendliest city in the world. Like, you wouldn't even know me, and if we like caught eyes with each other, like when we were like waiting for a bus, I would make some kind of sarcastic comment about it's better than him, say something that's not witty, but you'll laugh anyway, and then we'll just become friends. Like, there's a girl actually that I'm really good friends with because we just started talking in a queue for a toilet, and I was like, I like your hair. Person I've never met, and and hanging out, it's pretty cool. Glasgow is friendly, it's welcoming, it's not the safest of places, but always travel in groups, children, or get a taxi. Yeah, fuck Glargs, go Glasgow. And that's all I have to say because this is now 16 minutes long. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you subscribe. It's somewhere down there, I think. Woo! Yeah, go for it. Love you. Bye. Mwah.